Richard Bartek is the District 3 Director with the Nebraska Soybean Board. Richard also serves on the Soy Transportation Coalition. We talked with him at the Soybean Management Field Day in David City about how Nebraska soybeans get to their final destination once harvested.
A lot of the soybeans are exported, and we raise the soybeans in Nebraska, and they're hauled to a local elevator or a local terminal. And if China's the end user of the soybeans, there's a lot of highways between here and the Northwest where most of the Nebraska soybeans go, and a lot of railroads track and stuff. So on the Soy Transportation Coalition, directors are from the majority of the soybean raising or producing states, and we look into the conditions of highways, bridges. If a bridge gets closed in Nebraska or Iowa and truckers have to do about 25 extra miles, it's added cost, and somebody pays the cost, and it either comes off the bid of your grain or the end user pays more. So we're looking at those two things. We're looking at the condition of the railroads, whether more railroad spurs need to go in. We're looking at weights on trucks. People think if you add more weight to a semi, the limit is 80,000 on the interstates. Well, if you went up to, say, 95,000, you would have to just add an extra axle on, which has braking power. And majority of the semis going up and down the interstate system aren't even close to the current 80,000 pound weight. So it's either going to be more trucks on the road in the next 5-10 years, or you need to maybe add more weight to certain vehicles. And actually, tests show that the heavier weights in trucks are maybe safer in general over the amount of traffic on the interstates and highways. So we also look at river and ports, barge loading facilities. In the eastern states, they use the rivers quite a bit. The levels in the rivers are down, so there's some cases where product isn't moving. And so we look at all the problems that anytime you got to ship a soybean someplace, whether it be by truck, rail, barge, we examine that. And we're having Informa Economics and Texas A&M and some other groups we've hired to do some studies. And the studies will be coming out. You'll be able to see what it costs to get beans from Nebraska to a destination point, and it's going to be very interesting.
From Nebraska, where are most of these beans going? I mean, where are they looking at for this study? Where's it focused at?
Well, most of the beans that are leaving Nebraska go to the Pacific Northwest. That's Washington, Oregon, and I think some end up in the California area, but we're not close to any rivers or anything, so if they're not processed here in Nebraska, the chances are they're exported, and that's where they end up. And our concern here in Nebraska is highways and the railroads, so that's my concern for Nebraska on the board.
Overall, I mean, and I'm putting you on the spot here, are the roads and railroads in good condition in Nebraska? Does it vary just based on how old they are? What are you seeing there?
Well, basically, a lot of the bridges are, 30, 40 years old,
right.
and everything deteriorates over time, but we're looking at sensors that you can place on bridges. And these, with modern technology, it's changing every day. With these sensors, you can check out the stress level on that bridge. If it's overstressed by weight or way, under load limit, then you could possibly raise the tonnage on a bridge and maybe keep it open.
Essentially, you're seeing how much it's capable of taking?
Yes. And these sensors, I mean, the peak times of transportation are, tremendous. You have the bridge completely full capacity, and at times there's only a couple trucks going over them or cars or what have you. But these sensors, I know Nebraska's been contacted, and what we want to do is furnish them with the sensors. And since they do the best job ever of patrolling our highways and monitoring bridges, we're going directly to the DOT and see if we can have them work with us and maybe get some load limits raised on certain highways that maybe cause some traffic to go 25, 50 miles out of the way.